Director of the Protocol Department, and His Excellency Mr. Mubarak Mohammed Al Khalifa, Assistant Director of the African Affairs Department, members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, good evening. My name is Zubaira Mila Ifan. I am a student at Georgetown University here in Qatar. We are honored to welcome you all, Rwandans and friends of Rwanda, as we commemorate the genocide against the Tutsi. We remember over 1 million men, women, and children that lost their lives to the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. This commemoration is an important occasion to remember the lives lost, honor the resilience of the Rwandan people, and reflect on the progress made in the 30 years since the genocide against the Tutsi. Tonight, we will hear a powerful testimony, watch a moving performance, and come together as a community to pay tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. We have also put together a book exhibition as a curation of the history of the genocide against the Tutsi. You may have been able to visit it earlier, and it will still be displayed at the end of our program today. To mark the beginning of our ceremony, I would like to invite you to stand as we observe 1 minute of silence to honor the memories of those who lost their lives in the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. You may now be seated. We will now light the flame of hope on your right in memory of those who lost their lives to the genocide against the Tutsi. This flame symbolizes our remembrance, our resilience, and our commitment to ensuring that such atrocities never happen again. To proceed, we now invite you to shift your attention to the screen here on your right. What you are about to see is a documentary that will provide a comprehensive overview of the journey that led to the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi and the aftermath that has led Rwanda where it is today.
For much of the world, Rwanda first existed in 1994, and yet our story starts long before this, before colonialism.
Good evening. Your Excellency and dear friend, Ambassador Ibrahim Youssef Fakou, Director of the Department of Protocol at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Your Excellency Mr. Mubarak Mohammed Al Khalifa, Assistant Director of the Department of African Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, dear colleagues, esteemed friends. Today, we have gathered here to commemorate a dark chapter in Rwanda's history. This chapter has forever scarred our nation. 30 years on, it is a period in the year that never gets easier for anyone. On April 7th in Kigali, we marked the 30th commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda, an event at which Qatar was represented by His Excellency Sheikh Abdulrahman bin Hamad Al Thani, the Minister of Culture. We were very touched by that sign of solidarity. Commemorative activities such as this one are being organized across Rwanda and around the world from then until July 3rd, date when this genocide was brought to a halt. The theme of this commemoration, Kwiyubaka, loosely translated as Remember, Unite, Renew. This theme holds profound significance for Rwandan people as we consciously reflect on our past and the journey of healing, reconciliation, and rebuilding that followed. We honor the memory of more than 1 million of our loved ones, fathers, mothers, children, brothers and sisters, grandparents, that we will never get a chance to know. The only crime these innocent humans were guilty of was to be born labeled Tutsi. Many of us are sole survivors. Today, we remember our entire family's lost. There is also this growing number of families that are remembered only by name, as no member was spared to even tell the tale of their origins. We, as a nation, collectively comfort these survivors. Their legacy endures as a tribute to our people and their unwavering spirit. But it is also a period heavy with a sense of gratitude. Today, we pay tribute to the sacrifices of many Rwandans who brought our country back to life. They led us to make the following choices, which continue to define who we are as a nation and a people. We stand here today in recognition of the triumph of our unity over anything else. From a country that was believed to be a hopeless place in 1994, we have built a united society fueled by the desire to lift each other up. We have also chosen to remain accountable to one another, looking inward for the unique causes and possible solutions to our existential challenges as a nation. Finally, we chose to believe that our tragic past will not deny us a bright future. We therefore allowed ourselves to think big. We also acknowledge the invaluable contributions made by individuals and countries who provided us with all forms of help when we needed it the most. Your help in our rebirth story will not be forgotten. And we are grateful that some of you have honored us with your presence here today. As we reflect on the lessons learned from our past, we believe that fighting genocide ideologies of any form is a battle humanity should never stop fighting. We renew our commitment to actively cooperate with all stakeholders, promoting regional and international peace and security. Particularly, I believe there is no better time in which to recall the international commitment to fight the denial of the genocide against the Tutsi. It is our responsibility to protect the truth, honor the memory of those we lost, and oppose division and hatred whenever and wherever it manifests itself. In the words of my president, His Excellency Paul Kagame, peace is a choice we must make anew each day. Let us therefore choose peace today and every day. It is on this note that I thank you for joining us here today. And I have the honor to invite you to an academic panel discussion that will address these themes and more. This panel is scheduled this coming Sunday, April 22nd, at Georgetown University. Thank you sincerely for choosing to be with us tonight. This means a great deal.
Rwanda is not Little Rwanda. No, Rwanda world's example and definition of hope, resilience, and ambition. If you haven't heard, listen. Grab a pen and learn, because Rwanda is a lesson.
My name is Gloriosa Oibue. I am a genocide survivor, and I worked for 14 years in the areas of peace building and reconciliation after the genocide. I also served on the Gacaca courts, the traditional justice mechanism put in place to try the crime of genocide after modern systems proved to be unable to try the genocide within the lifetime of the killers or the survivors. Everyone in the front laughed and mocked us, those in the back. When I went back to sit, one of my neighbors, who was in the front, began to harass me and accuse me of coming from a family of killers. And she told me that my grandparents used to beat up her grandparents. But I knew for a fact that we did not come from the same area, and his parents did not know her grandparents did not know my grandparents. So what she was saying was wrong. As we walked outside of the classroom, she started a fight, and we had a big fight that I still remember. I lost a button of my dress, and that's back in 1974. On our way home, she asked me not to tell her parents because they would punish her. Visited at my home, and a woman visiting my home was raped by 9 people in my sight. A young boy and a young girl were hacked with machetes and not killed completely but injured severely. My home was destroyed a little bit, but everything looted from the house.
I grew up in the aftermath of the genocide. I remember I started going to the burials of my mommy's family when I was around 6 and 7. So you can imagine as a kid how many questions you have and you don't know how to ask. Because we didn't know if our questions were going to cause more trauma or we're going to get the right answers. With that trauma of losing everyone, being in the military, we grew up under a dad who was present physically but not present emotionally. So many years trying to get the questions, we came up with an idea of creating our past initiative. Our past initiative is a youth-led organization. We organize a youth commemoration event every year that we hope to bring to Qatar very soon, where we educate ourselves and educate other young people about our history. And we also take a chance to help genocide survivors. We organize our past commemoration event that is now attracting more than 6,000 young people. We have started by renovating one house a year because we started right after finishing high school. But now we are where we renovate between 9 and 12 homes a year. That's how much we have learned that as the young people of our nation, we need to take part in the building process of our country.